coming from the unit in DG AGRI, Unit D1, which is really taking care of the implementation of the long-term vision for rural areas in coordination with the colleagues in DG Regio in particular, but also for a very, very important and very particular animal, if you allow me the term, because we work with 14 other DGs across the Commission. So a very, very important effort, we hope, in terms of also coordinating EU policies towards the development of rural areas. And with this, I'm very happy to present the report the first, let's say, implementation report on the long-term vision that we published on the 27th of March this year. Here, this was an important opportunity for the President of the Commission, von der Leyen, to really strongly reiterate the importance that rural areas have for Europe's future more generally. So what she mentioned is that Europe is investing in rural areas because their prospects are Europe's future. And I think this we, as collectively as a community working for rural and mountain areas, we can be quite proud of that, in a sense that with the vision and all the work that as Commission, but importantly you as stakeholders are doing for these areas, we are really trying to refocus and to put many more efforts into that in the next policies and post 2027. And what we did, we tried to do with the report was indeed to do two things that we promised in the communication. Take stock of what we did in the past 3 years. In fact, the communication is from June 2021, so it's 3 years of implementation, not only on the rural action plan that is part of the communication, but importantly also on how policies support rural areas, how the CAP in particular and cohesion policy do so, but also how other policy contribute. And secondly, and importantly for us, also really in the context of this webinar, is we try to think about reflections on how to enhance support and financing for rural areas in the future, so in the next programming period. And we hope that with this report and with this presentation to sparkle also the debates on the future that we see possible for rural areas. So you will see very briefly here the outline of the report. We managed to have new data and new indicators for the 4 action areas of the vision. We managed to look back at the 30 months of implementation and take stock of that in the report. And as I said, also look forward, not only in terms of concrete actions, which we want to continue doing, but also in terms of how the future policies will hopefully shape to influence the future policies contributing to rural areas. And just to say, today we'll focus mainly on the report, but we have 2 very detailed staff working documents as well that are taking stock of the rural action plan implementation. So detailed actions and concrete projects are in this document, and also the reviewed rural action plan is available. So just wanted to raise your attention on these documents. So what we did for as a first step in last year was to look at how the common agricultural policy and cohesion policy contribute to, or have done so, to rural areas. And what you see on the screen is a very detailed array of studies, not only on the CAP, but also on cohesion policy. And DG Israel recently, in March of this year, also published a collection of examples of how cohesion policy contribute to the development of rural areas. And in essence, we took stock of that. We looked at the fact that both the CAP and cohesion policy do have relevant instruments for rural areas, but we know that the implementation is very varied across member states. So there is much more that we can do via these policies to contribute even further, even in a more targeted way. And also we took stock of the fact that these are the key policies contributing to rural development, but of course also the other policies do so, and we should look into that as well. For example, the Resilience and Recovery Fund do that as well, does contribute to rural development, but the extent to which does so is not so clear to us still. So the co-legislator did ask us to look further into the wider array of EU policies and what the contribution is. So this is part of the work that we will be doing. When it comes to achievements, we know the Rural Action Plan. We had 24 thematic actions and 6 horizontal actions. And here there is a lot that has been done. All the actions are ongoing. Some of them have been even completed as well. And the key elements of this, in a short sentence, is that really quite a substantial amount of money from EU-funded projects has been targeted to rural areas. And we saw that when it comes to research and innovation, where we have 253 million over more than 60 projects. We had 23.5 billions flagged to improve connectivity, including in rural areas. And we had quite a number of projects providing technical assistance, not only to networking activities for leaders, for example, as smart villages, but also to create energy communities, to create a mobility network for municipalities and rural areas, and to make sure that there is social economy consortia in rural areas as well. So there is quite a lot of both on funding and on technical assistance that we have provided over the last 3 years. And when it comes to the horizontal actions, we managed to try and get easier access to rural data. This was one of the points that was like in the previous presentation. So we have better statistics, twice more indicators, but also now a rural observatory online who manages to get the relevant data on rural area accessible as well. So this for us, we try to really improve the access on rural data. And not only access to data, but also there is a question that was flagged by many of you, the co-legislators as well, and the EU bodies, is what about access to funds and access to information on EU funds available? And for this, we managed to start with one step, which is the toolkit on new rural funds that was launched in February this year. And here, the toolkit provides more information on more than 25 funds and programs, EU programs available. This is at the European level, we know. There is much more we can do at national and regional level that is very relevant, but we started with this toolkit and hopefully this could be useful for you. And then we have also very much tried to put in place rural proofing at European level and improve the governance via the Rural Pact. Being aware of time, I know that I need to move forward. So, but we wanted also to flag a number of ways forward. First of all, we wanted to reassure that the Commission is very keen to continue supporting the development of rural areas, the implementation of the vision. And this slide that you see now is a bit our effort to continue with the work and to progress with the work and the development of rural areas. So we will continue funding research and innovation projects via the Horizon program for 2025-2027. We want to complete all the studies we have now started on rural youth, on land use, for example, in rural areas, on the social economy. We will have the final conference, of course, of moving, which is very important this year. We have also the final conference of the SmartNet project in autumn, and we will continue with the work also on supporting, among other priorities, energy communities with a new facility in 2024. So just wanted to reassure that we are very committed and will, of course, we'll hear from the new college in terms of also of the strategic direction that the Commission will take on rural areas in the next mandate. When it comes to the policy side, so this is one of the parts of the report that I've been asked to focus on, but also it was very important for us. We have received many already indications, many ideas, many priorities from the co-legislators, EU bodies, all of you, stakeholders, and we tried in the report to summarize them around a number of questions for reflections. As we said, we cannot preempt the next college, then of course the European elections, but what we wanted to do was to try to collect as many questions as possible that could, in a way, influence, that could drive the new, the discussion, the policy discussion for the new set of EU policies. So not only on the common agricultural policy and cohesion, but on all the EU policies contributing. And in the interest of time, I will not go through all of them now, but as you see, we are really talking about enhancing, how to enhance financial support, how to make sure that we can monitor the resources, now funds and programs really go to fund projects and the development of rural areas, how to improve access to support for beneficiaries, which is a key issue was flagged to us, how to make sure that rural proofing works, in fact, in practice, and how we can have a more integrated governance and integrated support for rural areas. So just wanted to flag some elements as well. And some of the elements that we see on the screen, first of all, we would like to debate them in these opportunities for debates that you see on the screen. So we had the 9th Cohesion Forum. We have a workshop on specifically on solidarity and rural communities upcoming next week. We have the Rural Pact Coordination Group that is very important steering the Rural Pact. We have many policy labs where we really welcome your presence and we'll send more information. And we have, of course, the Rural Pact Conference next year. But beside these opportunities and also the strategic dialogue that is ongoing on the future of agriculture, the message is we really want to hear from you. We are very interested in your views, your positions on the question that we ask and others that you think relevant. And we are very happy to get your contributions, not only today, but also in the coming months. So thank you very much.